Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. This Harris After Dark has existed in many forms over the years, and this is the dumbest. Here we are on YouTube with Jim McCormick. Hi, Jim.
Hello. Hello.
Exactly. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring. We are brought to you today by DraftKings. More about them a little bit later in the show. Our job on this particular, I don't know what it is. I guess it's a video podcast. People do their podcasts on YouTube now. I don't. Mine's just audio. Too bad. You can't see my facial expressions when I do the podcast, Jim. I'm smirking the whole time.
I like to call this a series, like a BBC thing.
It's like a series. It is. Yes. This is series like 8 of Harris After Dark.
Yeah, like S8.
Right. We pick the games, so you don't have to, but you probably should because sometimes we're not that good at it. Last week, I wasn't that good at it. I went 6 and 8, and frankly, I needed a few miracles to even do that. And Jim went. What did we decide you went? 9 and 7. Is that right?
Yeah. I live a little bit above 500. That's my life.
I live a little below 500 apparently, so nice job by you. I did not get my best bet right. You picked the Cowboys, who won 40-0, so that was pretty great. Your best bet came through. We always promise that we're going to mention the viewer who got their best bet correct. Ethan Houghton picked the Packers over the Bears on the road, getting a point, I believe it was, and it was a pretty comfortable win for Ethan. Great job out of you. That's what we're going to want out of you, all of you watching this. As we talk about these point spreads, by the end, we want you to have posted down in the comments what your favorite best bet of all these point spreads we're going to talk about for week 2. Philosophically, Jim, here we go, picking week 2. We now have one data point, and I assume you're just going to overreact, and every team that covered last week is going to cover this week, and vice versa.
I thought that you're supposed to photocopy the box score. It's change the names.
That is my motto.
Change the acronyms PHI. Switch it around.
Photocopy the box score. Week. That's the Harris football motto. It's a challenge. Obviously, it's better. I feel better doing it this week than I did last week because I do feel like I've got a better sense. It's funny. I had a good friend of mine text me a couple hours ago before we started doing this show here, and he said, "Hey, is it just me, or is the NFL season particularly chaos at this point in the season for so early?" And my response was, "It's just you. We are all like fish in an aquarium. We have no short-term, long-term, any memory at all. It's like this every year, major injury every year, right?"
It's true. I love seeing these tweets that are like, "Be prepared. This season is the injury season." It's like, oh, thank you. Like just this predictive nature of, and they'll come up with these fallacies like training camp or short preseason. But guess what? You have no idea.
You have no idea. It's football. And like the notion that some teams look terrible and they were unexpected and some teams look good and they were unexpected. Guess what happens? That's what happens every year. A new team is bad, a new team is good. Several new teams are good and bad, and the NFL changes so much from year to year. By the end of the year, we've decided the Eagles are great, but we certainly didn't think so after week 1 last year, right? Go ahead.
To be clear, I bet the Bengals under 60 points this year. So they're on pace.
For the season.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on pace.
Pretty great. Yeah, you're on the roll. Under 60. All right, so we're gonna go through these games one by one. Our celebrity producer Dave Piper is here with us, whom we love. And by the way, I'm just gonna require him somewhere. I'm gonna point somewhere as though I know where I'm pointing. You got to go watch the silliest thing that Dave saw from week 1. That video that came out on Tuesday. It is freaking hilarious. Every week, it's 5 minutes. It's not much of your time. After you're done with this, just remember to go watch it. It's so funny. Bill Belichick sniffing his finger. It's just so good. Jim, you watched it?
I did, and I felt for Bill there because I've been there.
In the middle of a football game, coaching on national TV, you've been there, smelling your finger.
I'm a school teacher, so I get caught, in weird moments sometimes. In terms of
that's great to know, Jim. I'm sure the kids' parents are glad to be watching. They're really psyched now.
Let's hope they're not watching.
They've all been forbidden to watch. Children, take this note home. This is the only requirement of this course, is that your parents must unsubscribe from YouTube
from your
TV.
Home.
Right. So all right, we're going to do this. We'll start with the Thursday night game. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but last year, week 2, it wasn't Thursday night. It was a national TV game, though. It was Monday night. The Vikings and the Eagles played in Philadelphia. Do you remember that from week 2 last year?
I do. It started off 24-0, and it felt much more consequential than that. Like it felt like a 40 point, but really it was the coming out for this Hurts
It
dual
absolutely
threat
was.
monster thing.
You're 100% right. It was the moment where you go, oh my God, actually this guy isn't terrible.
Right.
I will say though, in the name, okay, so this is Thursday night game. The Eagles are a 7-point favor over the Vikings, whom we both thought were under respected, and then they went out and lost at home to Tampa. Nice job, Kirk Cousins. I will say, if I said this in the show on the podcast, if you had teleported me from 2021 and showed me Jalen Hurts at the Patriots, I would have been like, "Yep, that's pretty much what he is." And
right.
it was as though 2022 never happened. It was a bad offensive showing, but I think it was particularly bad by Hurts. He missed a lot. He seemed very confused. I grant you that Belichick's defense is likelier to confuse him than Brian Flores or whoever, the people in Minnesota. But okay, you wear the Eagles hat. You're not wearing it right now, literally, but figuratively, you wear the Eagles hat. 7-point favorite for the Eagles at home. What do you think?
Yeah. So.
Are you just considering this for the first time? Has this just occurred to you?
No.
Okay.
Emotional hedge thing.
That's great.
But then I've been freed from that because Carson Wentz doesn't play anymore. So I had it Minnesota I had Minnesota +6. I just didn't believe, or I should probably say it the other way. I had the Eagles -6, and so
it's too many points to give. You're saying
it is too many points to give, and like you said, I still think this team is finding its footing. It's a different team. I mean, I think there was this concept that because they only changed out right guard, that there wouldn't be some offensive, hiccups. But not only is the schedule harder, but this is a new offensive coordinator. And I think Shane Steichen was really good at scheming the first read and then letting Jalen do his thing. And what it seemed to me was he was being asked to process too much. I don't know. That is an insult, I suppose, to Hurts. But he was being asked to do too much, and he couldn't handle it. Whereas last year it was first read, run, first read, zone. And this was too much. And I think maybe they scale it back. I don't respect Minnesota's defense, but I think this is a close game.
So I guessed it at 7. So this is a push for me. I'm going to take the coward's way out, as I am wont to do. But I think you make a great point. I'll tell you on film how that manifested. I went back and watched it for the podcast on Thursday. It really manifested in, we hear all the time about quarterbacks who are essentially given one read and then do something, right? But you bring up an excellent point, and I really couldn't have put it to words because you're a Philly fan, so you could figure it out. But the point was, yeah, last year they did the same thing. They gave him one read. It was just a better read. It was just a better design play for him. And I think that's what you're saying.
It was more Shanahan-ish. It felt like the door opened.
Yeah. Well, he missed Goddard several times in the middle of the field. Yeah. Goddard never touched the ball. He missed A.J. Brown wide open for a long touchdown, man. Wide open. And I don't know how you don't see it. We'll see. I mean, that's the guy I thought I saw in 2021. So if this was all about Shane Steichen, it could be a problem. It's really interesting. I certainly am going to be psyched to see that game. I guess it's coming out. That game is tonight. Now we're on to Sunday. And the Ravens, who won but didn't look impressive against Houston, they're going on the road. They're facing the Bengals, who lost and really didn't look impressive in the wind and rain. The only real weather game of week 1 was in Cleveland. Dave Piper is cackling at both of us because he's a giant Browns fan. He just made a noise. I don't even want to know. That was a little sexual. It was a little bit sexual, that noise that Dave just made in our ears. The Bengals are at home favored by 3.5 over the Ravens.
I can't get over that noise, but
it's quite a noise.
What I will say is I had this at -3. Okay. So, I mean, minus Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Again, this finding your footing thing, they didn't have the turnover that Philly had, but there's something going on there where, with respect to Cleveland, they subdued them, but they just seemed... Also, the Eagles mentioned the need for training, for preseason warm-ups or whatever. This did seem like a cold start team, the Bengals last week. So
Yeah, I think we should be really careful about drawing a lot of conclusions about week 1. It's a data point, but especially in the modern era where nobody does anything in August, the Steelers did a lot in August. How'd that work out? It just
what's
isn't
one series going to do for you, right?
Exactly. So I feel like I'm not giving up on Joe Burrow at all. And you're saying you had it at 3. I'm saying I put it at 4. So because the line's at 3.5, we're on opposite sides. But really, what we're saying is maybe don't play this game. I mean,
Right.
I could see myself taking the Bengals and maybe buying the hook to get it down to 3. Right. I feel like that's not a terrible idea. I'm going to be on the Bengals, but I agree with you. A lot of unknowns here, and let's not paint the Ravens. We talked about Todd Monken last week about before Georgia was anybody really calling Todd Monken a brilliant offensive mind. I think that's why he was at Georgia, because the answer is no. And so I kind of just want to watch it and see where they stand, and see how much it really was. Like, you could tell Deshaun Watson in that game. We'll talk about the Browns in a bit, but like, in the first half, he threw it at his receiver's feet like 15 times. He could. The wind was bad. So, So like, I'm gonna give the Bengals a little bit of an excuse. Let's do the Seahawks. They are going to the Lions. We were loud wrong about the Lions. Frankly, we were loud wrong about the Lions being on Thursday night. It was a fun game, although I would still say, great, it was a fun game, but it still didn't have quite that juice that like a real rivalry or a real, like heavyweight kind of feeling. It felt a little bit featherweight, but Lions win the game. They're at home. They're against Seattle. They're giving 5.5 points.
Yeah, I need to rewatch the LA game. But I think I prefer the comeback player of the year. Geno Smith came back from being bad. Is that what he came
So
back
he's going to
from?
do it again. Yeah,
Yes.
He's going to do it again.
I really. Why wasn't Jared Goff up for that last year? Didn't he come back from being bad too?
He was never quite as bad, right, as Geno.
I'm just saying. I just think it's incredible that a dude was just like, I got better, and a comeback. It's not what I thought. Either way, I'm ruining this. But I had it at Detroit -5.
Okay.
So I'm on Seattle.
I had it Lions -7. I actually feel pretty good about this. I'm gonna take the Lions. I'm gonna give the points. The line is certainly accounting for the fact that we don't think Seattle will have either of their starting tackles against Aiden Hutchinson. That doesn't sound good. You can certainly make the argument, like, the Lions did not solve all of their defensive problems because of one performance against Kansas City without Travis Kelce. Like, we still have major questions about that defense, and Seattle has major offensive weapons. There's a way for this pick to go bad and for Seattle to keep this game pretty close, 100%. But it was an awful performance in the second half. My God, it was Geno. I mean, again, I don't think he's going to link to it again, but I'll reference Piper's video from Tuesday. Geno literally yelling, "Oh my God!" as Aaron Donald.
Aaron
Donald's about to kill him. And that's not. I would yell worse than that. Believe me. But like, I think there's a tendency to want to think that everything sticks from year to year. I've said it a million times. So Seattle was supposed to be terrible last year, and they were like a little better. I mean, a lot better than people thought, and like a average to slightly above average team. So everybody goes, my God, that offense, Geno leads the league in passing. My God, comeback player. Oh my, like, I'm so excited. And like, yeah, that can go away. He's still Geno Smith. And I give it a non-zero chance that by the end of the year, Seahawks fans aren't that happy with him.
Are you saying the greatness is fleeting if you were never great? So.
I am saying that. And I'm also offended.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. I'm offended. Let's get back to the picks in just a moment, but let's thank DraftKings for sponsoring. If you watch these videos every week and laugh at us goofing around and getting games absolutely wrong, we would love for you to support the show by supporting DraftKings. If you're looking for a place to play the games and you live in one of those magic U.S. states where it's legal to do so, you can download that DraftKings app and enter the code HarrisTube. That's going to get you a pretty great deal. If you're a new customer, you get you make one $5 bet, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly, and you can spread all those bets out over many games that we talk about here, the ones you feel strongest about. We really do value the relationship with DraftKings. Without them, I'm not joking, we wouldn't be doing the show. I know a lot of you really like the show, so if you don't have an account there and you've been thinking about it'd be fun to do, and you live in one of the magic states, please do sign up using that code HarrisTube. All right, we're moving on. A barn burner. The Colts are visiting the Texans, the site of the stupid off last year in week 18 or whatever it is, when just lose the game, dudes. Houston, just lose the game. Like I don't really believe in tanking in the NFL until it's week 18 and all you have to do is lose the game and you get the number 1 pick and the course of your franchise is very different. And instead you stupidly win the game on the dumbest 4th down play in recent memory anyway. The Colts, with Anthony Richardson looked okay. They were leading with 5 minutes to go in that game, but in the end, it felt like a fair result. They're going to Houston. They're favored by 1.
Yeah, I had this Houston -1, so wow. I'm off by. So I actually watched enough of that Houston game to think that DeMeco Ryans did have a plan.
Me too.
I thought his defense actually did a really good job early, and then it just got loose. But I really think the offense is who, put the defense in a bad position as the game went on with turnovers and bad field position. So I saw some competence from Houston. I get that Indy had an okay game in terms of mixing Richardson around, but I think he's due for I don't know.
Due. He's played 1 game. My God, that guy's due.
No. I have no idea what's happening. What I will say is that Houston shouldn't be getting points from this team. Nobody should be getting points from Indianapolis.
Okay. Yeah, it's 1 week ago we were saying they were tanking dogs, and now suddenly they're okay. And I never believed they were tanking dogs, but I'm gonna take the Colts. Maybe I'm doing a Jimmy reverse layup where I go, I thought I was gonna take Texas. Nope, taking the Colts. Here's the thing. I thought the same thing. I obviously watched the Houston game. I didn't watch it live. I watched it after. I had no concept of what it looked like. I was impressed. The defense looked organized in a way that it hadn't in the past. I think that's clearly about the coach. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go Houston because I agree the Colts shouldn't be a road favorite against anybody. But everything I can say about the Houston defense, I actually kind of felt the same way about the Colts defense. The Colts defense the defensive front was really good.
It was, yeah.
I think they have secondary problems. Like both of these teams probably personnel-wise have secondary problems. But, if I'm going to rank, the Houston's defense is a wonderful surprise. But Shaq Leonard's scary as hell. He wrecked that game for a long time. The defense is the reason, much more than Anthony Richardson.
And he missed all last year, so yeah.
Yeah. They were winning that game because of the defense. So it's if my reason that I want to pick Houston is the defense, and I like Colts defense better, I think I'm just going to give the point. Essentially, you're trying to pick a winner, obviously. I'll take the push at a 1-point win for the Colts. I don't feel super confident about it, but it is how I wound up coming down. So I think it's cool that we observed these two things independent of one another, and we kind of came away feeling the same way. Hey, both these defenses are actuly pretty legit and decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have an identity. I do. Even that safe, weird Gus Bus thing that they have going in Indy, it has an identity.
For sure. I mean, you're right. They play safe on the back end, but they're pretty vicious.
So they're downhill.
Yeah,
and
Trevor Lawrence.
A whole different...
Trevor Lawrence did not have a fun day for sure against them. It's interesting. All right, so the Bears, who I picked home against Green Bay, Ethan watched that video. Ethan Houghton watched that video last week and was like, dummy, and he was right. Dummy. They're going to Tampa this time, and the market has seen these two teams. And is it possible that the Buccaneers, who were supposed to be a potential contender for, maybe not the number 1 pick, but a top 5 pick, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but is it possible that they're way, way better than we thought? They're in week 2 already they're a 3-point home favorite against the Bears.
It's not possible. No.
It's not possible. Nope.
Look, direct flights from Chicago to Tampa, they have 3 things: wings, farts, and windbreakers. It's dudes.
What was the middle one? Wait, I missed the middle one.
Wings, farts.
Oh, farts. Got
and windbreakers. Teal, Sergio Tacchini, it's one big brat fest. And they're going down there, and they're going to cover. I had it at -2.
The reason I said 5 is because I had it at 5. Have you read these reports? Have you read these? What's that?
Chicago's not good. Is that your angle?
No, my angle. Have you read those reports about? These are all fake. These are all insider beat reporter fake stuff. The reports about I've never seen a Bears room as shaken as that room seemed after week 1. They feel directionless, and they come on, spare me. I'm sure they weren't psyched, but there are all kinds, like they tried to rein in Justin Fields. They tried to make him more of a pocket passer. And for 1 week, it did not work. And my concern, if I'm on the Bears side, is that they're going to try for more than 1 week. Because from what I saw of Tampa's defense in Minnesota, that wouldn't be the defense that I would once again try to have him be in the pocket for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, one of my problems is I still can't pronounce the Bears coach name. Eberflus or something.
Eberflus?
Eberflus. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just did it.
Made up.
There's something. It does sound a little made up. We have a mixtape for him on the. It's Pearl Jam. Eberflus.
Okay,
good,
so
right?
I never connected those two things. So
I mean, how could you not? Pearl Jam, like Eddie Vedder, I think from Chicago. It's a direct line, right?
Yeah, Eddie Vedder. Digestion of it's a language, Vedderisms or Vedology. Vitology.
That's a Pearl Jam album. My God, this is all really full circle. No, we are literally the Rosetta Stone for American culture on this show. I can't believe more people don't watch. It's incredibly good. So I'm on Tampa. I'm going to give the 3. I feel good that it's 3. I wouldn't want to have to get more than 3. But you're on the other side. I feel like I'm going to get wrecked here. We're on a lot of different sides here. I'm positive I'm not going to get wrecked on this one because I'll just tell you already, Coward's way out. But this is a rematch of the conference semifinal game. The Chiefs are going to Jacksonville. And you remember last year, Mahomes, that's where he hurts his ankle and goes on his heroic march thereafter. But they wouldn't have done it without Chad Henne, who is no longer there to rescue their bacon. The Chiefs on the road, 0-1. They are still a 3-point favorite over the Jags. I'm the coward. You're not. You're going to pick it.
The check wires. This is the wires.
The Wire. Oh, sorry, man. How could I not call them the Wires? What am I doing?
And they've clearly never watched The Wire. I don't even think it broadcasts.
I've watched it twice.
No, the people who live in Jacksonville. I think it's blacked out on Netflix. It's just cultural. But either way, the Jaguars are getting with respect to getting respect. It's like too much respect. It's just too much respect. I gotta take the Chiefs. This is ridiculous.
Chiefs. They're going to bounce back. Kelsey and Chris Jones will both be there.
I had it at -2. No. That's not right. I had it -4.5. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I've misread my sheet. I had it -4.5. Weird Vegas zone. I get the Kelsey can't find receivers thing. No dice.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, by the way, you mentioned your sheet. I don't even believe there's a sheet there. Can we hear it? Could we hear your sheet? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, he has a sheet. It's true. He does have a sheet. Well done, Jim. All right.
I'm hear it back. I get what you... I get
your thing. We're pushing on that one. That's my last coward way out. I only give myself 2. You get 2 a week, Harris. So I'm a coward on that one. The Packers, who eventually looked good. It wasn't a very good first half against the Bears. I think it was 10-6. And I'm pretty sure at halftime Packer fans weren't gloating. But they are gloating now. And they're going down to Atlanta, the run-first Falcons with 2 running backs. The Packers are 3-point favorites on the road in the, can I say soulless Georgia Dome? I find that place to be fairly soulless.
I think you can. I really do.
I just did.
I went there before. You had to go downstairs to get there. It was so awkward. Yeah. It was like, what? What are you guys doing? There's no basement in the Alamo. Either way, Packers -3 is what I had. All these lines I'm close, but I just don't really trust this whole mustache Arthur Smith thing.
So you're going to pick the Packers even though you hit the number. Because can I just reemphasize, make crinkle papers, not a coward. Yeah, not a coward. Oh, yep, so there you go. Crinkled them again.
Remix.
And shook your microphone to the point where the camera shook. It was like, Philly earthquake. So I actually wait. I said it's 2. You said it's 3. Sorry. The line is 2. I guessed it was going to be 3. You guessed it's going to be 3. We're on the same side of this. We're both on the side of the Packers. I think this is a fun one to watch because the Falcons are going to do what they do. I would never suspect that there aren't enough passes there for a wide receiver to be good for fantasy. There will be, but those 2 running backs are going to get the ball a lot, and this is not the Carolina defensive front. I don't think the Carolina defensive front is terrible, but it's not Green Bay's. So if they can move around Green Bay, they might really have something going on there. And they might. They've got a really good offensive line. So your host screwed up the line. We both like the Packers -2. What a ding-dong. You raising your hand.
Yes. Can I just ask, I haven't been able to listen to the full Harris football experience this week because I'm teaching third grade, which is troubling for somebody, but not me. What's your Jordan Love take? I want to get some Chris. Yeah.
All right. Well, do I have a take? I thought he didn't have to do that much. It felt like the first touchdown pass was a blown coverage. It was supposed to be bracketed on Romeo Doubs. They both defensive backs like just left him and he was standing by himself. The second touchdown was one-on-one to Doubs and it was like a fade route, and Doubs really typically doesn't fit the profile of the guy that you throw the jump ball fade route to, but he caught it. Tyreek Hill got one of those to win the game, right? So it can sometimes work. I thought Love was fine. He's not mobile to run like the way Justin Fields is, but he's mobile like to get out of trouble. I thought it was fine. It was okay. I think the Bears offered precious little resistance in that second half, unfortunately. Raiders, they win, and I got that one right. I think the Raiders are sort of perpetually disrespected because people just hate Josh McDaniels. They're going to Buffalo. The Bills lose under crazy circumstances on Monday night. They are nevertheless an 8.5-point favorite over the Raiders.
I mean, I just respect both the haircut choices and just the colors. Like, I love the Raiders. So, particularly Mark Davis.
Whose haircut choices?
Mark Davis. He looks. He's like.
I mean, look at you. Imagine if you could grow the Prince Valiant.
If I could get the Lloyd Christmas,
yeah,
I'd be out there.
Do it.
I would have the chipped tooth, so it's like,
yeah.
All right.
Do you like how, Jim? Do you like how my cultural referent was Prince Valiant and yours was Dumb and Dumber? Do you like that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of overlap there. Classics.
Okay. Maybe. All right, Raiders. Raiders. Bills. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites.
All right. So again, I'm doing the flight thing. Imagine the difference between the people flying on a direct flight from Las Vegas to Buffalo and what they look like after. It's generally Buffalo people going back to Buffalo from Vegas. They look beaten down. So, and then the Buffalo people look great going to Vegas.
I mean, it's Buffalo, so not that great.
As much as that's going to work. I mean, it's like Applebee's sweatshirts, but it's going to work out. My point being, there's no point. Okay? I have it -7.
Okay. I did -6. So we're both going Raiders. It's a lot of points. I mean, I think it's fair. I think it's funny that Joe Burrow doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, but Josh Allen does. Like, it was a bad second half. It was a bad performance. And for all the talk that the Bills media have given us about how, oh my God, a different Josh Allen. Are you kidding me? This guy so under control. Like, he returns his library books on time now. Like, he is completely, he's going to run out of bounds and he's not going to run crazy and he's not going to throw it so deep. And in the second half, he got mad. And yeah, it's like when you play the AI and sold one of those old Atari games and you start to beat it, like it freaks out and starts to shake and play better. That's what Josh Allen tried to do. It didn't work. And frankly, I don't know that you can teach that. We may just be looking at Brett Favre 2.0. Really, really great Hall of Fame type player, but maybe never going to win more than one Super Bowl that maybe they wouldn't have won had the Patriots not been there, as their cannon fodder opponent in that Favre Super Bowl. I've lost some faith in Josh Allen. He's my MVP bet, but I've lost some faith. We're both on the Raiders there.
Did you see the discourse today about there's too much on Josh Allen's plate? So the solution is go get Saquon Barkley.
I mean, great. I think that would be great. I think they would be a lot better than
as a Patriots. No, what I'm saying is like,
yeah, as a Patriot fan,
yeah, spend more capital chasing.
Doesn't sound that good. No, I mean, they should chase all they can. I don't think they're going to get Saquon Barkley. Right. All right, the Chargers, the losers of just losers. My God, such losers. I don't know how much of that game you saw. I watched that one live. Unbelievable. They go to Tennessee. They are favored by 3 on the road. Tennessee doesn't have as much talent as the Chargers do, but they have better coaches. I know that much.
Yeah, they do. If Vrabel could line up 11 Vrabels, different line.
That's a lot of flat top hairdos.
It's also a lot of 3-yard fade touchdowns. So I'm gonna take the Chargers somehow. Wow. I had this at -5.
Wow. So you think on a neutral field the Chargers are like a touchdown or more better than Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, I'm basing this off of Tannehill.
He was awful. He was the worst quarterback of week 1, I think. Probably, other than maybe Zach Wilson.
very real, particularly like Bayard. Those safeties are really good, but I just don't think that's how this team's going to have to win. I think they can keep it underneath and feed these really good, like short, safe skill guys. That's kind of who they are right now. Again, the A dot thing, it didn't happen. Mind blowing.
Right.
Maybe it's Justin Herbert.
I mean, yeah,
Downfield
like Justin Herbert isn't like a wild man the way Josh Allen is. In fact, he might be a little too restrained. I gotta say, I just have a Brandon Staley problem. I think he's the worst coach in the league. Like, I think he's terrible. We'll see, but like he's supposed to be the defensive guy. The defensive game plan in that game against the
press secretary angles to him, doesn't he? Yeah, where he's just
or how about Secretary of Transportation, maybe?
Exactly.
A little bit of a resemblance there. You got Tyreek Hill, man. Like, just don't. All you have to do is not play man against him. That's pretty much what you should do. And they played man against him all day long, and 240 yards later, they lose.
But Chris, what about the next play? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to go Tennessee, even though of course, I agree with you about the talent disparity. There just is a big skill weapon talent disparity, and Tannehill was terrible. Tannehill has to play better. I don't know if you're not going to believe this, but Joey Bosa might be hurt again. You're not going to believe it. It's unbelievable.
Did he not hang out with his brother this summer in the warm pools of Cabo, full of HGH? I mean, no.
What? Vitamins, Jim. The 49ers, we're on to the late games. The 49ers are coming here to Los Angeles, California. Only I can say Angeles, as we covered last week. They are favored by 7.5 points, which is a resounding vote that, first of all, once again, probably the stadium will be half Niners fans. To be honest, the Rams do a lot better. The Rams have much more of a following, so I doubt it'll be half Niner fans. It'll be some, but it won't be half. But it's also just a resounding rejection of the way the Rams looked on the road against Seattle last week. We both got that game wrong. Are you tempted to take 7.5 points, even against the mighty 49ers?
I'm not.
Wow.
That's -9. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
On a neutral field, this is a 12-point difference, an 11-point difference.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened with the Rams then? Like, what's that all about?
I guess it had more to do with Geno's pumpkin than it did, and
Stafford unpumpkining.
And I don't know what flavor gum Pete had. That throws everything off.
It does.
No, but seriously, like, if we're gonna talk about like what could have happened, I'm gonna trust that the team that just dismantled a team on the road. I don't know how much we respect Pittsburgh, but I respect their defense, and they just did whatever they wanted. And I think that with regard to this team, they're going to be able to do the same thing.
That's too many points for me. I just feel like I'm going to go 1-18 this week. I feel like you're going to just slaughter me. We're never on
30-point win.
We're not on this many different games ever. I put this at 5. Like, on a neutral field, I thought the Ram performance was good. Matthew Stafford was excellent in that game. I don't think you can fake how well he played, and to just like say, okay, cool, they just won a game. Absolutely nobody thought they were going to win. That was Cousin Josh's survivor pool. Seattle beating the Rams, right? Tons of people died on that hill for survivor pool, and we're just going to completely. I understand what you're talking about. I'm not saying that your argument is ridiculous, because it's not. The 49ers could just go score 50 against really anybody. That's a crazy offense. But I mean, typically you don't go the dudes who just were impressive in a road, like, I don't know, Tampa's a 5-point favorite, and because they just had their impressive win. I don't know.
Why was that line so funky? Because it got really funky. The Seattle LA line last week, it went to 4.5 on Sunday. I just felt so off about that. I just don't feel the same way about this game in terms of the read. So
all right, well, we're on too many different games. Usually you kick my ass. We're on different games. I'm if we get double-digit losses here, we might have to be calling this McCormick After Dark, which is a totally different experience. No. Let's face it.
Dave Ultra Dark is.
We got the Giants. Of course, the Giants are going to be road favorites. After losing 40-0 against the Cardinals, the Giants, not only they're road favorites, they're 5.5-point road favorites at Arizona. I hope that the outrage in my voice is indicating how I'm voting here, because once again, I didn't think the Arizona defense looked bad.
I don't know how to do an Eli face, but I'm gonna try.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. That was
Like,
good.
look,
Yeah, that was
like when
good.
he just threw 2 picks and he's like, I need some Gatorade. All right,
Yeah.
so Eli face, full Eli face -6. So
You're on the
uh,
Giants.
yeah,
I
sadly.
can't believe this. I can't believe this. Did you get to see any of the Commander Cardinal game?
Oh, sadly I did. Yeah. Hmm.
Sadly. I mean, they almost killed Sam Howell. That's in Dave's video too, where the ref does the Undertaker sit up.
They
That was
did.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Dave, you did such a good job on that video. People got to watch that video. I'm just reminding you to watch that video.
Didn't Sheriff go down or something? Didn't they lose some linemen?
Okay, but I mean, Jonathan Gannon, laughingstock. You know,
Hmm.
I wasn't even that good in Philadelphia. Like, doesn't it
Yeah.
look like just like D'Amico Ryans, he kind of put something together defensively? No,
He's aggressive. Yeah, he throws things out. And there's nobody that I trust more to face pressure than Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. I can't believe this line. I can't believe it. It made my eyes crazy. I put it Giants -1. I can't believe this line. Am I this out of tune in the NFL?
No, we're gonna find out.
I mean, when was the last time a team that got shot up 40-0 in week 1 was a 5.5-point road favorite week 2? What are we even talking about here?
I spent $1 of my fab on the Giants in one league.
Oh my god!
Defense.
That
I
is...
shouldn't have admitted that. So I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That was
well, by the time this posts, you'll have already gotten them. By the time this posts.
Yep.
The Jets, a great defense. They visit the Cowboys, a great defense. We wish this was Aaron Rodgers because it would just be more fun, regardless of what you think of Aaron Rodgers. But as I called him on the podcast, the Howard Hughes of the 21st century will no longer be paying quarterback for the Jets, and that's another contemporary reference. Watch The Aviator, you'll know what I mean. The Jets on the road are getting 9 points.
And I can imagine Aaron just locked in like a theater, screaming and banging on doors, right at the end game.
Right.
I had a Jets -7.5. I mean, Jets -7.5. I had a Jets +7.5 because I have a 0.5 hater move. It's like home field advantage, hater field advantage that I always take back from the Cowboys. I did that last week.
But in this case, it didn't matter. You're going to be on the Jets, right?
You know what, Zach Wilson? I think somehow, like in a parachute, I think Carson Wentz comes down and makes things work. So, yeah.
My God. I mean, it would probably be better. I mean, it's so... Another thing from Dave's video. Dave's video was so good. The Matt Ryan face where the play-by-play guy goes, I don't want to ruin it. Just watch it. There's a Matt Ryan moment in the video. It's just so funny. Like, that would be the reason to storm out of the booth and go quarterback the Jets. Like, Ryan was terrible last year, but he was better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the Jets with you, too.
He's not cute anymore, so Zach is.
He's... All right. Well, I can't judge that, but 7 and I put it at 7. You put it at 7.5. So we've decided 9 is too many points. I think where we're coming from is we don't love it, but that Jet defense is probably the best defense.
That's what
in the
it
league.
is.
And yeah, it's tough defense. All right, Commanders, a home win, not by enough to my way of thinking, and Sam Howell did not dissipate the doubt about him. They're going to Denver. The Broncos get their second straight home game, and if they lose this one, I don't know that Russell Wilson should show up the next week. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites.
Well, I mean, look, Caucasian Tyrod Taylor is here for us, okay? And that's Sam Howell, but that doesn't insult to Tyrod Taylor, okay? Like,
I mean, it might a little bit.
I'm saying Tyrod Taylor's like the bar where he's a poster in his room.
Yeah,
it's like I will be him one day. That's a lot of starts. Either way, I had this at the Washington covering. I had it at -2.5, Denver.
Okay. I had it
I just don't think they're good.
I had it -4 Denver. I don't think they're good either, but I'll just say Denver's defense looked better. It seems like they fixed some stuff.
Okay.
That defense was awful last year. The Commanders' defense is better than that. But, boy, riding with Sam Howell on the road, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, see, it's more about the strategist, Ron Rivera.
Just the fact that Ron Rivera is great, right? We should do a show.
He's going to order for the whole table.
We should do a show where we make all our picks just based on which coach we think is smarter, and see if that works. Because I think I win this one.
Is this show? I thought that's kind of what I did. So.
This one, I think I win. I think Sean Payton is smarter than Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
But I will take Denver. We're on opposite sides again. All right, the Dolphins on Sunday night are going to New England. They're going to play those footy pajama Patriots, and the Patriots are 2.5-point home underdogs against Miami, who looked pretty mighty last week.
Yeah, I have a -4, Miami. They're fast. And I saw this New England defense, and I actually rewatched the game. So I feel like I have a little bit of a handle of what they were doing. It's really good against teams that want to live underneath, the way that the Eagles did, I think, and like beat you slowly. I don't know, man. This Dolphins team is really scary in terms of how quickly it can pull their trigger. Yeah. So
they're scary, but it's a lot of points.
Isn't Fangio too? Like, this defense is also kind of good in theory, no? But they were awful last week, so.
You know, I mean, what I've come to realize about Vic Fangio defenses is that he's had a lot of really good personnel over the years.
Exactly.
And that covers up for a lot. And that it's actually pretty conservative. Like, they played 2 safeties back the entire – it's a 2 deep shell the whole game, or quarters coverage. It's some variation.
Now with Philly, yeah.
Yeah, it's some variation of keep everything in front of you, which is how the Chargers ran so much, because the Dolphins were just like, go ahead, man. Like, I think the strategy in that room is we know we can score 35 on everybody, and so just like let's stop the other team 3 or 4 times because they ran it, and then we're good, right?
And let the line get home naturally. Yeah.
Right. So I like the Dolphins a lot. I have liked Tua from kind of the jump. Like, I just like him a lot. I set it at 2. I thought in setting it at 2, I assumed I was going to be on Miami. And I guess I'm not. So there's like 10 games that were different, and I'm going to go 0-10. I can't do this. I can't do the show anymore.
Good for me.
I have to sub in. Tag team Dave, you're up. All right, we have 2 Monday night games. 2. 2, count them 2, and they overlap. They're not like one then the other. You're gonna have to like have dual screen going on and to absorb the magic. First, we have Saints Panthers. That's the JV game, I guess. The Saints are going to Carolina as a 3-point favorite.
The Saints. Yeah,
Are you literally just considering this for the first time? I can't.
I'm looking at my sheet.
You're kicking my butt. Yeah, there's the sheet. All right, now I believe you're looking at the sheet. That's fair.
Also, real quick. We have this friend in my one fantasy league who always says he uses a sheet, and we found out he pays this guy named Randall to come to his house to draft for him in an auction. He doesn't even press the buttons.
Does he call him? Maybe his nickname is Sheet.
He calls him the Sheet. No, I swear to God, he'll be like the Sheet disagrees with you. It's really cool. So it's kind of this is the 18th year in the league. We just found this out, so I thought that was fun. Yeah.
Is it Ben Sheets? Wasn't he like a Orioles baseball player a long time ago?
And he was a Brewers pitcher. Yeah. Yeah.
Was he not? Was he not on the Orioles too? No.
I don't know, but he definitely was the Brewers. That's where he came out.
All right.
I just have my brain's broken, but he's a Brewer. -3.5 is what I had here. So.
Wow. You really like the road favorites. You really believe. I mean, the road teams went crazy straight up last week.
I think Kenny Pickett's just Kenny pick thrower. So.
Wait, we're on the Kenny Pickett. We're not on the Kenny Pickett
wrong game
yet. Yeah.
Ready this. I'm in the Carolina game.
Kenny Pickett's been traded. I've got late word. Hold on. Kenny Pickett's been traded to Carolina.
Dave. Everybody stop listening. Everybody hold their ears. Dave, fix this. Go back and fix this. No, but seriously.
We're not fixing it.
I have Saints 3.5, so it's another half point. I just think
I realized you had Saints 3.5. I was just looking for some reason other than Kenny Pickett.
That Carolina offense was just gross, and I actually don't think the Carolina defense has some things that I like, but the same guy who's running it ran Denver last year, and he like took out Jeremy Chin for like 40% of the snaps. I just don't know what he's doing. So I am on Derek Carr, who stares down linebackers.
I'm on Carolina. I think it's too many points at home. I mean, it feels like the lines are like very pro road team, and I wonder if that's just because the public all saw the road teams all win straight up, let alone, so many road teams won straight up. What's the number 10 last week? Not even worrying about the spread, just straight up. My logic here, Derek Carr as a road favorite usually isn't a great way to go. Carolina felt competent. It felt like an okay operation. Bryce Young made 2 unbelievably bad throws, but without them,
Right.
I think Carolina wins that game. So like
the Bates throws, yeah.
Is he coachable? The late over the middle stuff it was just like, have you never watched an NFL game? That's what everybody says. Don't throw late over the middle. Why are you throwing late over the middle? But I thought otherwise, he has, I think, enough arm for sure. I never felt like the height was a problem, and the accuracy when he got to set his feet was like really good, really good. So maybe Carolina has something. Mostly, this is just being afraid of the Saints as a road favorite. And lastly, I'm hearing that Kenny Pickett has been traded back to Pittsburgh. It is the second Monday night game. It is the Browns. They're going to the Steelers, and the Browns once again they're a 2-point road favorite. And you're going to take the Browns.
I have a problem. My name's Jim. I really do though. -1.5. Yeah, pick it.
Yeah, I mean,
stick it. So
I get it. If you're saying, I actually thought it might be even. I thought it might be even. You're saying Browns defense, but like the Steelers defense is really good too. I know Cam Hayward's hurt, but there's a lot of good players in that defense.
Their secondaries kind of sucks.
You don't think Cleveland's secondaries kind of sus?
No, I mean Derek Ward I think is good. I think they invested in safety. I kind of like it more than this team.
All right. So. Well, would you have said that before week 1? I'm really asking.
Yeah, secondary wise I would have, because like Denzel Ward was just hurt.
Defense wise.
I would, yeah, because I think they had a really good offseason. I do. I think Za'Darius, I think all the things they did, interior line,
all right,
they're better than people think.
All right, you know what? You talked me into it. I'm going to change just so we don't have one more game different and I don't go 0-11. So I'm going to totally change my mind, and I'm going to officially select the Browns.
No way this backfires.
I'm sure Dave Piper is also on the Browns, so it's mutual. It's all three of us. We love the Browns in this spot. We would unloan the mortgage on it. Don't do that. Please don't unloan the mortgage. Okay, so best bet. Your favorite bet of the week. Is it going to be one of the ones that you think I'm a fool on?
This is a strange one.
You're just looking at them now and picking out. You forgot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
exactly.
I'll go first. I'll go first. I'm gonna say Cardinals. I just don't get the line. I don't get it. I can't believe I'm on the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are the ones who beat me last week. But I don't understand. I guess maybe the logic is that, a team that gets slaughtered usually like wakes up, gets some smelling salts. But I had that line at 4.5 point difference in the market. So how can I not pick that one? I never, the differences are never that big. So, heaven forgive me. I'm taking the Cardinals. In the time that I vamped about the Cardinals, did you come up with did you do the assignment?
Yeah, I just think it's like kind of like sometimes where sort of like hide weed in weird places and have no idea where it's going to be. Sorry, is that bad? Should we remove that?
I mean, for a third grade teacher, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's okay.
I have a card. What I'm saying is I have no idea. I thought at the time it was sensible. I put an asterisk next to this one name. Why did I mention all this? This is terrible.
Yeah.
New England is not the team I want. The Dolphins.
Dolphins. You have the Dolphins as your best bet.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey, Piper, just don't fix it. That's all I ask is don't fix it.
No, never fix it. Share.
Because it's funny. All right. So you're going to be on a road favorite. Shockingly, considering can you quickly, while I'm wrapping up, can you quickly count for me how many road favorites you're betting on this week? Can
13.
you quickly count for me? No, just do a real count while I wrap up.
Okay.
We want to know what your favorite bet is of all the ones we talked about. Jim and I varied on more games than we agreed this week by a lot. So we all know what's going to happen. We all know what I got coming to me, and I won't be able to sit down for a couple of weeks, but it is coming my direction as Jim riffles the papers. Tell us down in the comments what your favorite selection is. Once again, we thank DraftKings. Really, honestly, it's fun. We obviously have fun with this. I hope all of you do too. We're not master pickers at this, but we do our best. We know a lot about football, but handicapping NFL is hard. Don't bet the mortgage. This is not the sport in which you should be betting giant amounts. But if you're looking for a place to play the games, DraftKings is an awesome place to do it. And if you use the code HarrisTube, you'll get, with a $5 bet, you get $200 in bonus bets right away. You can spread it around and have some fun. How many? How many is it?
I think it's 8 out of 9 road favorites.
8 out of the 9 road favorites.
I think so. Yeah.
Jim McCormick is on. Wow, that is a lot. We'll see how it plays for you.
I have a passport,
That's gonna do it.
So.
That's gonna do it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, all that stuff. Dave Piper's just amazing. Thank Dave. And Dave, one more time, link to it, Dave, or something. Go watch the other video. It's so good. It's the silliest thing we saw in week 1. It's so funny. It's 5 minutes. It'll make you laugh more than my stupid face can. For Dave, for Jim, I'm Chris. Thank you. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.